What's up, everyone? So started a new job recently, which is very exciting. Working at PACCAR. So it's during the week, but I'm gonna try and make like an hour progress every night on this thing, and then try and make a little more progress during the weekend, as one does. So I'm gonna go down. First thing I'm gonna do is go down and try and grab transmission, engine block, and then probably get the subframe, which would be number 3, and bring it up here. And then I have all these parts for the LS swap. So I got the cross member down there and the motor mounts, and I think it'd be really nice to throw it in the car with the engine and transmission, and then, as I've said before, check and see how it fits in here, and see if I got to cut the tunnel or anything like that before I start making some of these patches, like the one on the trans tunnel right there. So that's what I'm gonna work on. I'll put you guys on a little time lapse of me getting that stuff in the truck. All right, I'm kind of parallel pathing, working on this fender and working on the Nova. So it's a little late, so try not to bang on too much down here. Respect the neighbors. But I'm gonna be lifting this up. This guy got some straps on here, putting it in the truck, and also putting the LS in there and putting this 480 in, so I can, as I've mentioned, test fit everything and see how it fits in there, and see what I'll have to do to the firewall and also to the floor pan for these tranny cooler lines you can see. So that's kind of the current mission. I'm gonna get her in there and get her up there. Alrighty, major progress. So as you saw, I got this guy connected, and these bolts came with like these heads on them, or these threads. So I just kind of cut them off because I feel like they're going to interfere with the firewall. But I'm going to try, or what I'm going to do next is probably move this car this way, to this area of the shop, and then start fitting up on this guy all these LS all these LS swap parts, and start feeling it all out and seeing how it's all going to fit in there. And then I'm moving the car out of the way so I can use the come along on the lift and lift it up and have a little more fidelity than this thing, and a little more space, because I feel like it's going to be kind of a precise thing to get this motor and transmission onto here. So once that's on there, as I said, I'm going to throw it in here and see how it fits compared to the firewall. And I still got to make that firewall patch. You can see there's a hole. I'm not going to run a heater, so I want to be sure before I do something with the firewall that I know where everything's going to be, so I can plan accordingly. So yeah, this is a big step and we're making headway. Definitely kind of exciting. Obviously it's not permanent, but it's going to definitely give me a good idea of how everything's going to fit in the car. So we're making headway. All right, what's up, guys? So switching gears, I'm gonna press in these bushings. You know, I got these Del-A-Lum and aluminum bushings, and we got a press over here. So definitely kind of a little process here. As it always is, it's wise to read the instructions and make sure you have a good understanding of what to do. But basically, on the tops, you're gonna press in one of these bushings, and then slide the rod in, and then you know, you press the other bushing in from the top, and you kind of have something that spans in between here to keep it from, you know, crushing down on itself. And then that's pretty much this straightforward for those ones. And then on the lower ones, right, you got just another simple thing. You got the different size bushings. The front one's a little larger because it takes most of the load, and you just press those ones in. Those ones are a little simpler because you don't have a rod that spans here. So I'm gonna put you guys on a time lapse and hope this goes smoothly. I'm definitely gonna use a little grease on these so they press in nicely, but it's always can be kind of a challenge to put these in here, but sometimes it goes smoother than others. Wish me luck. All right, so pretty simple. Got this one pressed in, and then I'm gonna change the press. You know, it's gonna have to be a little bit more spread out because, you know, you gotta put the whole arm in there to press the other one in onto the shaft. So you wanna use something like this to keep the arm from, you know, falling in on itself. So you put this in between here to make it so when you're pressing on it, it doesn't, you know, kind of collapse. So I'm gonna move the press, shoot. But I'm gonna move the press down and then throw you guys back on the time lapse. These are pretty straightforward. I think they press a little easier than the original bushings because the original bushings are like steel, and the aluminum is definitely a little more malleable, and also a little bit, it kind of travels in there a little easier when you put some grease on it. So making headway. Alright, so I got this one completed. Looks pretty good. Definitely a little frustrated that the frickin' Zerk fittings don't line up, but pretty much stuck with it. So looks good. It might actually be good because in the back it's usually a little harder to accessible, or harder to access the you know, Zerk fittings, but that's basically the completed arm. And then you just got to bolt in the new ball joints, and then she's ready to go in the car. Alright, as I said, got both these done, so now I'm going to move on to these. So, like I said, this one's going to be a lot easier. You don't have to worry about, you know, putting something in between there. So I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse. And one other note, I'm getting these washers for these bad boys painted. And looks like I might need a few new lock washers as well. They're kind of worn out, so we're making frickin' headway. Definitely kind of a big step getting this done, because then I can start putting the spindles in there. And then you can put, you know, the brake rotor on, and then you can have some lug nuts to basically give the car, you know, just a place to put the wheels on. So here's a little time lapse. All right, so I got everything up here. It sucks. I bought some body mount bolts, and they're not correct for these Detroit Speed solid mount bushings. So I think I'm gonna go to like Tacoma Screw and get some just normal bolts. Tried to, you know, get something off eBay, and didn't work for my application. So one thing I'm gonna have to do is these brackets for the brakes. You know, this car had drum brakes on it, and when you put these on, you can kind of see, let's see, if I put it like this, you can see that this runs into here. So you got to machine this boss, and then you can run these, you know, disc brake brackets. And that's kind of the main thing that's holding me up from really assembling this front end. And also I got to blast these, and I think I'm going to cut probably like a coil out of them to try and get the front end a little bit lower. And it's also going to have a lighter motor in it compared to that big block that was in here. So try and get it close to the ground for a little better aerodynamics. So right now what I'm going to work on, kind of, you know, made some progress on the front end components. I'm going to work on getting these motor mount plates, you know, on the subframe. What you got to do is put these countersunk bolts in there, and then drill one hole for the clamshell mount, which goes on like this. Let me grab him. It goes on here like that, and then you can mount those, you know, steel brackets to the motor. And then I also got to do a little bit of modification for that cross member. So I think I'm going to throw you guys on some time lapses and get to, you know, getting this stuff installed. All right, so kind of a tough break. It looks like somehow these mounts got past quality control or something. These are supposed to be threaded, so you can thread some, you know, short little bolts into there, and they aren't. So I got to return these and then get a new set. And definitely not ideal, because that kind of, you know, takes away the thunder of you know, putting this motor and transmission in there. I'm hoping everything is right in terms of the cross member and motor mounts and stuff. So hopefully that'll work out. But what was I gonna say? So basically, I got a lot of work to do with the front end still. I gotta find somewhere to machine this, and also gotta wait for some new motor mounts. And then I'm also gonna be getting some swing outs for the door bars in here, so it makes it a little easier to get in and out of, as I've mentioned. So I'm gonna make an order, and I might just cut the video off here because I'm working now, so I'd like to try and stay consistent on these videos. So hope you enjoyed watching me put those bushings in and kind of getting some of the stuff up here. And hopefully, you know, I am going to start working from home, so hopefully I'll be able to make some good progress on this thing as time goes on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey, thanks for stopping into the Bluebird Enterprises YouTube channel. If you like what you saw, give me a big thumbs up, and hopefully you're leaving with a bigger smile than you came in with.